I am becoming more and more convinced every day that Nancy Pelosi is the most evil woman to have ever existed on the planet. She's here holding a press conference and telling everybody straight up they're coming out with this new legislation here called the policing reform legislation, which is just a way to fucking, basically say, fuck the Constitution, let the black people rule. I mean, I don't want to be white, black, racist, but that's basically what the legislation says, straight up. I have no idea how that happens in the United States, that they can even bring race or creed or color or sexual orientation into the fray at all. But somehow it's happening. I don't know how. This bitch, man. I mean, she's saying it straight up. Hang on. She mumbles so bad you can't even fucking hear what she's saying. But she starts talking about that she went back to Ghana in order to relive the first leg of the journey that the slaves took 400 years ago. So.
Really, there was no United States, but going across the Atlantic. It was a horrible, the kidnapping, the purchase of those slaves, the dungeons in which they were kept, and if they survived that, to be on a slave ship, and if they survived that, to be sold into slavery. And then everything that came from that. When we were in...
Everything that came from that. Like it's our fault that that happened, We weren't even, there wasn't even America then, How can you attack America for this? But it's not America, apparently. It's the white guys that did it. And they did it because of their race. She's completely turning everything around backward from what it should be here. Can't you see this? This is really sad here, okay? Really, really sad here. Can't believe I'm watching this. The previous speaker introduced Nancy Pelosi as the most powerful woman in the nation. As if, they talk about, well, it doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man. Well, then they're saying she's the most powerful entity in the nation. That means that she's already disavowing Trump and Pence. She is second in line for succession for the presidency of the United States. They fucking already tried to burn the White House and murder the president already. That's their plan. It's straight up said it in Antifa, and she is the one that's funding Antifa. She's helping Antifa all the way. This woman is a traitor, a total traitor. And what you're seeing is treason right here, live. This is so sad here.
Selma, only just in March, we saw at Brian Stevenson's, one of his museums, a beautiful display, heartbreaking display, but children, little children saying, "Mama, Mama, has anyone seen our mother?" These children separated from their mothers. The cruelty of that.
That was cruel.
That's why when George Floyd called out for his mother, when he was subjected to that knee in the neck, it was just a continuation of some horror that has existed in our country for a very long time.
All right. Did you hear what she said? She said that when George Floyd called out for his mama, that is actually a result of the children, the black children that were taken from their mothers when 400 years ago, when slavery was started, that somehow spilled over into George Floyd crying out and calling for his mother. There's some kind of connection there. That's what she's trying to establish here. Nice. It's pretty thin. If anything, it's pretty thin here.
So, Mr. Clyburn, Mr. Hoyer, our distinguished leader, Mr. Clyburn.
Now she's mumbling.
Joined Karen Bass.
Muttering names that she can't even say the names. She's calling senators, congressmen, senators.
Senators, did I say Senator Harris, Senator Booker.
Fucking bitch can't even Can't even complete a goddamn sentence at all, okay?
Emancipation Hall, aptly named for those who built the capital of the United States.
Oh yeah, the slaves. They're the ones that built the capital of the United States.
In their honor. We're there for 8 minutes and 46 seconds on our knees. My members will attest. It's a very long time. It's a very long time. And I graciously led them in falling over when it was over so that they could do the same thing. But here we are, the martyrdom of George Floyd.
The martyrdom of George Floyd. Did you guys know that in a failed robbery attempt, George Floyd pulled out a gun and held it to the stomach of a pregnant woman? Held her hostage. Did you know that? He threatened the life of a woman and her unborn child with a gun. Did you know that? He's the martyr.
Gave American experience a moment of national anguish as we grieve for the Black Americans killed.
Now she's reading a statement because she can't fucking speak at all.
By police brutality. Today, this moment of national anguish is being transformed into a movement of national action.
All right. What she just said there is the most important thing in the history of the planet right there, okay? You have to think about what she just said there, okay? She's saying that we're turning this national moment of, the problems with George Floyd, okay? But she's turning that into a national movement, okay? This movement, this national movement she's talking about, ain't got nothing to do with George Floyd, okay? Ain't got nothing to do with anything. The national movement she's talking about is a communist, worldwide movement to make everybody equal, okay? And she's getting these directions from up high, from her managers, from the people that tell her what to do. George Soros tells her what to do. The movement she's talking about is the Antifa movement that they're hell-bent on destroying the United States. This woman is acknowledging that movement right here, and she's conflating it with a racial issue. Ain't got nothing to do. Racial issue ain't got nothing to do with communist overthrow of the country. That's what's happening. She's conflating it right here and acting like it's all under the guise of racism. This is the biggest lie, second biggest lie we've had yet this year, next to fucking coronavirus. No, this is bigger than coronavirus, okay? This is the biggest lie I've heard yet. Everybody should really pay attention to what's happening right here in this meeting right now. Now she's going to say one more thing that's going to fucking really set me off. Hang on.
As Americans from across the country peacefully protest to demand an end to injustice.
Peacefully, huh? How can this woman say peacefully? There's been nothing peaceful whatsoever about these riots. There's nothing peaceful about murdering a puppy on live TV, lady. Ain't nothing peaceful about that. If you look at the Constitution, it says, yeah, we've got the right to peaceful protest. And she's calling it peaceful. These aren't peaceful, bitch. Fucking cunt. I swear to God.
Today, with the Justice and Policing Act, the Congress is standing with those fighting for justice and taking action.
Taking action. Oh, with a big smile, she says. It's got a grin, a smirk. I've seen that smirk before. That smirk is, she got the Bill Gates smirk right there.
Let us, my colleagues, just go over some of those names of martyrdom. George Floyd, Jackson Davis, Oscar Grant. So sad. Breonna Taylor, Armand Arbery, Botham Jean, Terrence Crutcher, Philandro Castle, Freddie Gray, Walter Scott, Tamir Rice, Michael Brown, Eric Garner, Trayvon Martin, my cop.
She's taken the propaganda that the news said, and she's turning it around and shoving it right up your ass. Every one of those fucking names, not one of those guys was actually innocent. I'm going to do some research before I say that, okay? But I know Trayvon Martin wasn't fucking innocent. That whole thing with the don't shoot, that was a fucking lie. They know it's a lie. They didn't even charge the cop, okay? It's one of those things they slipped in on you. It would be just the same as if they didn't catch Jesse Smollett. Why didn't she put Jesse Smollett on this list? She should have put Jesse Smollett on this list. Because Trayvon Martin was bullshit. And she put it on the list. Why not Jesse Smollett, lady? Then she can't remember any more names, so she's asking people for more names.
Any other names you want to
Oh,
Oh, they're all kind of throwing them out like it happens all the time. Systemic racism.
Settle for anything less than transformative structural change, which is why the Justice in Policing Act will remove barriers to prosecuting police misconduct and covering damages by addressing the quality immunity doctrine. It will.
So she's putting it right here, right now. These are the new rules, people. You're going to have to follow our new rules.
Will demilitarize the police by limiting the transfer of military weaponry to state and local police
Demilitarize the police
departments. It will combat police brutality by requiring body and dashboard cameras, banning chokeholds, no-knock warrants in drug cases, and end racial profiling.
Well, actually, I agree totally with those first three. No-knock warrants are not good. Chokeholds are definitely not good. But racial profiling, come on, bitch. There is no fucking racial profiling. That's a lie, okay? Why does she keep doing this? Oh, duh.
We'll finally make lynching, Mr. Hoyer, a federal hate crime.
Okay. We'll finally make lynching a federal hate crime. I talked about that in a video the other day. Jesse Smollett, he's a buddy of Cory Booker and Kamala Harris, you know. They're the ones that did this bill. They were friends with Jesse Smollett. And he tried to do this lynching, you know. Try to, get the legislation going. That kind of fizzled out because he's fucking made it up, obviously. But now they're coming back with this. And they actually try to slip it into, I believe it was the Senate. And our buddy Rand Paul, he caught him on it. He go, wait a minute. He said, wait a minute. This isn't lynching. This is just anything. If it's any kind of injury or anything you do at all, even verbally. If there's any white-black thing here, that makes a lynching crime. That's complete bullshit. That's complete perversion of justice right there. Color of skin should have nothing to do with anything here, okay? This lynching bill, it's just a way to get these guys of color, non-white guys, I guess, to have more power, that they can say that, hey, he hurt me, he injured me, he lynched me. That's not lynching. That lynching, if I walk up and spit on you or just hit you, if you're gonna call that lynching, then what you've done is you lessened the impact of the actual true lynchings that have. Well, lynching is something serious, okay? You can't include stuff that's less serious into it. I mean, come on. Anyway.
I support Chairwoman Bass and Representative Bobby Smith and our two distinguished senators, Harris and Booker and others, for their work in helping to pass H.R. 35 this year.
H.R. 35, that must be the lynching bill. The lynching bill.
Police brutality is heartbreaking reflection of an entrenched system of racial injustice.
Well, see, police brutality is racial injustice. How can you conflate those two? How can anybody sit there and listen to her and believe that those two have anything to do with each other? If you believe that, you're a racist. Plain straight up, you're a fucking racist if you believe that. Come on.
In America, true justice can only be achieved with full, comprehensive action. That's what we are doing today.
Oh yeah, they're going to change it all. They're going to have sweeping reforms and turn the United States into a fucking parking lot. When there ain't no going to be any more police to protect anybody. When black people are somehow elevated above everybody else, or at least white people are de-elevated from below everybody else, then that's what she wants. And it ain't got nothing to do with race at all. It's just a way to disarm the police, to let the fucking rioters go crazy, burn the fucking country down, and let George Soros have his day. Because he's hell-bent on the destruction of the world. He's a billionaire, and for kicks, he likes seeing people fucking suffer and die all over the world. And so he buys organizations, he buys everything, and he plays with people like they're toy soldiers. And she's one of his soldiers, and she's following her orders, her marching orders right now. This is the most serious thing that ever happened in the history of the world, right here, right now, right now.
Is a first step. There is more to come. In the coming weeks, the House will hold hearings, mark up the bill. Once the House passes it, the Justice and Policing Act, Leader McConnell will hopefully, he must swiftly take it up. Leader in the Congress, the President must not stand in the way of justice. The Congress and the country will not relent until this legislation is made into law.
All right.
The House passes it, the Justice and Policing Act, Leader McConnell will hopefully, he must swiftly take it up. Leader in the Congress, the President must not stand in the way of justice. The Congress and the country will not relent until this legislation is made into law.
Did you hear what she said? I had to play it twice there for sure. She's saying that McConnell must take it up and Trump must not veto it. Must. And we and the country will not rest until it's done. So what she just said there is, we're going to keep rioting, we're going to keep looting and burning down your cities, burning houses down, murdering puppies until the Congress passes this, the Senate approves it, and the President signs it, enacts it, signs it into law. That's extortion. The battle lines have been drawn, okay? Battle lines are drawn. June 8th, 2020, Marty Walner from Livonia, Michigan.